Arthur Savage was a genius when it came to firearms design, but he was also a good businessman. And he built that business on his Model 1899 lever action that had very, very modern features.
The Savage 1899 is a really cool lever action rifle. It was a lot of competition for Winchester when it had its heyday. The gun was originally designed and toyed around with various designs beginning in 1892. You gotta remember, this is the era when smokeless powder was coming into vogue.
Arthur Savage was a really interesting guy. He had done a lot of things in his life, and it was clear that he had a mind for mechanics and a penchant for business. So in 1889, he patents a rotary magazine lever-action rifle, and he enters it into the 1892 Army trials. Ultimately, his design does not win out, but Arthur Savage doesn't give up there. He decides that there's a market for this new design of his, and he's going to find it.
The interesting thing about the gun, at the time it came out, except for the Winchester Model 95, it was the only lever action that you could safely use a Spitzer-type bullet in because it had that rotary top-loaded magazine. So it also allowed for a considerable amount of versatility to make the gun a lot easier to be rechambered for a number of different rounds.
The commercial version, the sporter version of his U.S. Army trials entrant, initially is called the Model 1895. And it looks very much like a Model 99. It essentially is a Model 99. But in the late 1890s, he comes up with yet another unique invention that he couples with his rotary magazine. And what it is it's basically a round counter on the left side of the receiver. So you can look at the gun, you can figure out how many rounds you have left.
Arthur Savage enclosed his mechanism, and it's a very complicated receiver. When you look inside a Savage 99 receiver, you could see that somebody who knew what they were doing had to make these cuts because they're asking a lot of what's going on inside of there. So the bolt is top locking, and the lever actually has kind of a safety mechanism in it. So it was very complicated to make because, unless you get it all the way back, it's not going to fire. But Arthur Savage did something that nobody had really thought of, especially on a lever action, and that is to do a rotary internal magazine. And you'd say, oh, rotary magazine, that's not a big deal. Well, Mannlicher did it, of course. But what Arthur Savage did was take a uniquely American platform, and that is the lever action rifle, and made sure that not only was it a strong action, because most of the Winchester actions weren't terribly strong, but, it could control how the cartridges are fed all inside the magazine.
When the Savage 99 first appeared, its first caliber was .303 Savage. And everybody thinks, well, the .303 Savage is just a modification of the British .303. No, it's not. Basically, the .303 Savage bears no relationship to the .303 Enfield round. It's closer to basically the .30-30. However, it doesn't bear much of a relationship to the .30-30 either. Basically, it was a unique round when it came out. The Savage 99 eventually, through its various incarnations, and it was made in lots and lots and lots and lots of different models, was chambered in 20-some different rounds. It's amazing.
The receiver of that gun is a nice canvas for firearms engravers to work their magic. A model that we have in the museum was retailed by Abercrombie & Fitch and comes in a beautiful case, velvet case takedown model. It was an amazing rifle. It was the first hammerless lever action ever designed. And I believe it's serial number 1 million that we have in the collection here that Savage gave us from the factory.
The ultimate problem with Savage Model 99, even though it was popular, was like so many other legacy designs that were discontinued throughout the 20th century, the manufacturing costs just became too prohibitive. So unfortunately, while we don't see new production Savage Model 99s, enthusiasts of it can content themselves with the fact that there are plenty of them out there, and they are as strong as they've ever been.